What's up, guys? I have a really exciting topic that I've been waiting to make a video about. This stuff is a lifesaver, a game changer. Like, this is a godsend to me. I'm very passionate about it because of what it really means. I mean, it should be on every news channel. There should be billboards. Everyone should be talking about this who still struggles with smoking. Because how many of you smoke cigarettes or dip and have tried thousands of times to quit, failed, and pretty much accepted the fact that you're going to die 20 years sooner? I know I did. I smoked for about 5 years. I'm still pretty young, so I wasn't out there smoking for the past 30 years. This might be a little harder for those of you who have, but it's still pretty easy. I mean, I've heard of people who smoked 2 to 3 packs a day and quit with this method the same day. So what's the answer? I'll just come out with it and say that it's vaping. Why do I think this is so important? Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you. So let's just look at the negatives of smoking. For me, at least, my lungs always felt tight. I couldn't breathe. I dipped too, so my gums were receding, and my mouth, my breath just stunk all the time. My clothes stunk all the time. My hands stunk all the time. Everything about me just stunk. And that's pretty unattractive, you know. You want to pick up a girl or whatever, go on a date, you meet a new person. Eventually, it's you got to drop the ball on the fact that you're a smoker, and if they're a non-smoker, that's probably one of the biggest turnoffs in today's society. When you go on a date with somebody, you got to tell them you're a smoker. I hated that, man. And we all know the health risks. I don't need to go over those. But for some reason, we're told as smokers that this stuff is killing us, but yet we continue to do it every day. That's a pretty good indication that this stuff is highly addicting. When you know that you're dying from it, but yet you continue to do it, you got a problem. And it's gonna take, for some of us, it takes more than just willpower and the flip of a switch to wake up and say, I'm done. Some people, it takes a doctor telling them you're gonna die if you don't quit smoking, and some people still do it. This stuff kills people every day. So this is an alternative. But it's not just an alternative to me. I mean, this is harmless. And I'll tell you why in a second. But, you go from that, the cigarettes, the dip that are killing you day by day, and you can just feel it all over your body. That you know you're a smoker because you can just feel it all over your body. The only positives that I ever received from smoking, really, was that it satisfied my craving for nicotine. My first cigarette made me sick to death. I felt like throwing up and lightheaded, and it just made me feel like crap, and I thought, how could somebody be addicted to this? Somehow, I don't know what day or at what time, but I kept at it for some reason. I don't know why, but I think you guys can all relate. Your first cigarette was probably not too enjoyable, but you did it again and again and again, and one day you just reflected back and said, okay, I don't think I can quit this stuff. And it just happens. I don't know how, but at first you don't have that craving for nicotine, but once you do, that's when cigarettes start to taste better. They start to become better because they're satisfying your craving. They're giving you that rush of endorphins from satisfying your craving and your oral fixation and whatever. It relieves boredom. It's relaxing when you're stressed out, you had a rough day, you smoke a cigarette, and it's kind of relaxing. That's, I guess, for the majority of us who smoke, that's enough for us to keep going and keep killing ourselves, satisfy some boredom, and it's relaxing. So, yeah, it makes no sense. It's not worth dying over. it's the addiction to the nicotine and all the other harmful chemicals in cigarettes that keeps us going. You know, you got to face facts. It's just the addiction to the nicotine. But what if I were to tell you that you could satisfy that craving, relieve stress and boredom, and cut out all the harmful, all the downsides while keeping all the positives? That's what vaping means to me. It's like, you know, before I had these, I was like, when I got it, I was so excited because it was like, yesterday I was gonna die from these, and now it's like I have all the positives from it, but none of the negatives. It's just, you know, like that is a technological miracle. I think those are the right words to me. You know, I think this is one of the most important products that's ever hit the market. And my experience with vaping is that, you know, I got one of those disposable ones at the gas station. I even went the next step and got the starter kit from Blue. But there's just something about those regular cigarette-looking ones, the disposable ones, that they don't pull hard. They don't give you much vapor at all. And so I tried that, and I was like, this doesn't work for me. I was really disappointed, and you know, just pretty much wrote it off as vaping doesn't work for me. Just another one of those, like the patch or the gum or whatever. I was really disappointed. Later on down the line, I had thought that, you know, there was nothing more than that. The little analog looking cigarettes. I didn't think there was anything beyond that. But a friend of mine had one of these, the Halo Triton, and I was really curious. I'm curious by nature. I was like, what is that? Can I try it? What's in there? What flavor is that? And I tried it, and it was like peppermint or like chocolate flavor, and I was like, that's delicious. Like, what's that flavor called? And I forget what it was, but I just started asking him all these questions because it was delicious, and not to mention the vapor was so much more than the disposable one that I had tried before. I'll show you right now. This is the vapor from a Halo Triton. And you can see how much more, if you've ever had the disposable ones, how much more you get off of one of these. So it's like you get that full lung effect without having to like pull so hard. And I was like really interested. I got one of my own, and the flavors that I got I wasn't too impressed with, but I kept at it. I bought some new flavors, and eventually I found some flavors that I think are delicious, and I cut cigarettes out completely. Not right away, but what I did at first was I'd smoke a cigarette, and then in between I would vape, and my the time in between cigarettes got longer and longer and longer without me even noticing or trying. There wasn't any effort involved. I just somehow woke up one day and realized I smoked half as many cigarettes yesterday as before I got this. Then I started making a little more effort by when I wanted a cigarette, I would just try and vape for a couple minutes, see if I still wanted one. And most of the time I didn't. So, you know, I went from like 20 a day to 10 a day to like 5 a day to about 3 a day, and then I was stuck on the whole first one in the morning and last one at night, and those took me a couple weeks. But and I had a couple slip-ups where, like, you know, I had like 1 or 2 days where I just smoked and didn't vape at all. But eventually I cut them out, and it wasn't hard at all. It wasn't like, you know, I wasn't like going through withdrawal or whatever, really irritated and craving a cigarette and white-knuckling it, but it was easy. It was really easy. I was amazed at how easy it was. The only thing is, I think the reason that it took so long was that it took me a couple weeks is because there's, I think 4,000 chemicals in cigarettes. And nicotine is the most addicting, but there's also several other chemicals that are addicting. And so your body has to slowly detox those. Get those out of your system, and that's what makes it hard. If it was just the nicotine, you'd switch right over. It would be no big deal at all. But it was a process for me, but a relatively easy process. And I don't miss them. I don't crave cigarettes. I don't like. If I did, I would just go smoke one. But it's easy. Like I can't say that enough. It was way easier than I expected. If you want to quit and you use this as the method to quit, you will. But, if you just try this and you're not even all about quitting or whatever, it's just going to be another one of those things, and, you'll be back to smoking, most likely. But if you put in just a tiny bit of effort, just a little bit, I can almost guarantee you that you'll quit smoking. The only negatives were that, the flavors were hit or miss. And with cigarettes, they add so many chemicals. The reason for that is that it gets the nicotine to your brain in about 7 seconds. They got it down to about 7 seconds, so it's almost instant gratification. With these, it's a little more delayed. Takes some getting used to. You're not getting that instant gratification, but you're getting the nicotine fix that you're looking for. So it takes some getting used to. Also, people aren't informed about this stuff. You'll hear a bunch of comments about, the negatives, blah, 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 blah. Nicotine by itself is not that harmful. It's not going to cause cancer. It's not going to kill you. It's not that harmful. It's not much worse than caffeine, although it is a lot more addictive. The only other chemicals in this stuff are propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, and the flavoring. So you can look it up. There's nothing in this that's going to kill you. There's nothing in this that's going to... The worst side effect I've had from this is a dry mouth, which after a little bit went away too. It doesn't stink. It doesn't cause cancer. You have a shit ton of variety. I used to just have non-menthol and menthol as my choices. Now I have thousands of flavors to choose from. And, they say variety's the spice of life. This has spiced my life up. I get packages in the mail of flavors, and I get, it's like a high for me. I get so excited of my packages coming in and getting to try a new flavor, and it's like wine tasting almost. It's so much better than smoking. I enjoy this so much more, and I don't have that guilt weighing on me that I'm gonna die from this, or that it's terrible for me or whatever. It's like all the benefits of smoking minus all the negatives. And anybody who is still out there struggling with cigarettes and quitting, and the health the health risks that come with smoking cigarettes, you can just cut them out right now, today. You can just if you've had the disposable ones and you're like me and you thought, okay, this is not for me, it doesn't work, please try the next step up. One of these where you just, you press the button. I'm not endorsing the Halo Triton. They're not paying me. So, whatever you choose to get, just take the next step up, and give it another try, because this stuff is like, I would have died a lot sooner, because I don't think I would have quit on my own. I don't think I would have been able to just cold turkey or wean off or whatever. Not for, at least years. But, I did it. Right now I'm vaping on a green tea flavor and one that tastes like a cinnamon roll. It's delicious. And, I can breathe again. And, it's... I don't know. I got so many good things to say about it, but I went on for too long. So, thanks, guys. I hope you try this method.